Welcome to top 4 of our spooky season, mid-season, or spooky season premiere challenge. That's hard to say.
Yeah. A lot of S's.
It's like not a mid-season yet. That will be in December, but right now we are in top 4 of our premiere challenge. We got Giovanni Costa and Daniel Franklin. We got two very, very common players. They've been showing up all the time. Giovanni obviously has had a really good record, especially in the last final, at the end of last season, in 2023 season. 2024 has been very competitive, though. We've seen a lot of people who have been top cut before top cut, but these are two regular players. They know what they're doing, and obviously they're gaining points today. But who's going to go to the final is the question. And Giovanni's on the left here with that golden go, Iron Hands, Ogerpon, Wellspring, Fridgeraft, Fluttermane, and Staraptor. Yep, Staraptor in top 4. Yep. And Daniel on the right with Landorus, Therium, Iron Hands, Iron Bundle, Fluttermane, Kanto Weezing, and Heatran.
Excited to see how this goes. The Staraptor, of course, is kind of eye-grabbing, but as you saw, he did not lock it in. So I kind of wonder if it's like a unique match-up fix for like some various matchups, but you know, not here. So
I think it's a good nuke, honestly. Looking at it, it looks like it's not as invested in HP and attack because it's Choice Scarf and Final Gambit. So you can just kind of nuke with Final Gambit or pick some stuff up with Brave Bird or Close Combat. I do think that Heatran is something very, very scary because this is Choice Spectacle Skoldengo, and Heatran just eats that up. We're going to see Daniel lead here with the Iron Hands, Landorus, and Goldingo, and Ogerpon on Giovanni's side.
Very cool. Yeah, so it looks like we don't see Weezing hit the field yet. I'm curious if he has it in the back. I mean, I guess Geo has 2 Paradox Mons, so in theory it's a little less effective. Yeah, it looks like Geo's gonna try to set up some way.
Yeah, actually, Weezing has 3 Paradox forms on Daniel's side, the Iron Hands, Fluttermane, and Iron Bundle. The Spiky Shield was good there. I think a Stomping Tantrum's free to go into that, or we're going to see Fake Out onto it, but Stomping Tantrum into the Goldingo slot's pretty free. I think you can probably get one Make It Rain off, but it's not going to do a ton because you did not Terra.
Yeah, I'm curious if maybe he was also reading... Nope, okay, it's Stomping Tantrum. I wonder...
Yep. 7 HP.
He knows the calcs. This is definitely...
Ooh, Side Shot going...
designed. Okay, now this is a pretty proactive turn for Geo. He has the Follow Me set up, so Landorus ain't doing anything, and he can just... He's specs locked in, so he can only click Side Shock, but yeah, this is... Whatever's switching in is gonna hurt. I guess the only switch in he has in the back is maybe Heatran. We'll see.
I think Heatran is probably safe. Yeah, Heatran's not in a horrible spot at the moment. You do gotta watch out for the Ivy Cudgels, however, Goldingo, with that Follow Me, Goldingo now becomes kind of a dead weight. You can get the Side Shock off on the Landorus, but it's not gonna do a ton. And you've got Heat Waves, which is going to do really solid on that on the Ogerpon as well, because it has not Terra'd yet. I think this is the turn we're going to see Terra's activate. We're either going to see the Ogerpon Terra or the Heatran Terra, or both.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, Ivy Cudgel threat. Yeah, okay. So Geo's generally a pretty safe player. He wants to see if Daniel's going to blink first and blow his Terra first. Let's see.
It is Life Orb. Heatran's good to keep that in mind, so Protect's is an option. I think honestly you can go ahead and just go through for that Terra. I think ideally for Daniel you want to Protect, because if they go for the Terra, you get a free Stomping Tantrum on 2 of them, and the Ogerpon's not known to be physically defensive. It's this specifically Wellspring form. So if you play your cards right, you may be able to go for, and the Heatran, I'm sorry, the Landorus, I don't think it'll live another Side Shock, but it could, and then if Stomping Tantrum does enough, you could just go for a double knockout in the next turn. But we are going to see a double Terra.
Interesting. And this is a Scarf, so this is going to be,
It's not a horrible play because you do now survive an Ivy Cudgel, but burning through Terra is not necessarily what you want.
And he knows he's not going to take a ton of Side Shock, but okay, and he's going to get the Golden Go off the field. Geo was probably leaving it there as kind of a sack anyways.
Yeah.
And in any case, I think he Ivy Cudgeled into Landorus actually.
Right
but
here.
We'll see. I mean, it's double stab. I imagine this KOs, but the Intimidate was... Okay, forget everything I just said.
Yeah, no, it's enough. Just Terra plus... That's a weakness.
This is going to do nothing. There's a chance of a burn, though.
Not quite.
Yeah.
You know, not a horrible spot for Daniel if you have Fluttermane as your last Pokemon, I think, because you can just go ahead and go into Fluttermane. It's half health This is why I'd want to go into Flutterming. Oh, okay, it's Iron Hands. Never mind. I thought we were going to see the Iron Hands on Giovanni City. But, yeah, no potential fake out here because of that fur giraffe. I think it's not necessarily bad.
Yeah, this is a great bringing it back because now there's no fake out pressure. Something's dying from this Ogerpon this turn. Yeah.
Unless, I mean, it's a 50-50 game because you can protect the Heatran and go for a wild charge on the Ogerpon, or protect your Ogerpon, set up Trick Room. You don't want a Trick Room, I don't think, with the other side. But I think if you protect your Heatran and then hope that Ogerpon, like it's mind games. Who are they going to hit? You could get rid of it with an Earth Power or a Flash Cat or switch it out. Yeah, I just think it's mind games. Who's the Ogerpon going to hit?
Using the Apathetic has arrived.
Oh!
So this is interesting, because now...
Fake out.
I mean, yeah, fake out.
We're not going to see it anyways, never mind. Yeah, and Ogre, that's the right target, that Iron Hands there.
Interesting. So the Trick Room being set up means... I'm not unsure on the Wheezing speeds here, but I think Heatran is definitely going to be moving before Ogerpon.
Yeah. It's one of those games where the Trick Room may not necessarily be the call you wanted to make.
Yeah.
The Wheezing is not terrible. I think right now with Heatran, it's one of those, like another one of those games because the special defense boost on Ogerpon is so useful.
Yeah. I'm interested too because the Wheezing takes more damage from Psychic, but it's Psyshock, which goes into Wheezing's higher defense stat.
Yeah. I think the right call here is to even go for a Sludge Bomb onto the Ogerpon and hope that's enough. Well, there's that Sludge Bomb on the Ogerpon. That does not do
33 damage. Ooh.
Doubling up on the Ogerpon was a smart play for Daniel, and now you're in a decent position. It really comes down to what that last Pokemon is. Iron Hands, I think that's scary, but it also is, Heatran could do really good on it. But
yeah, that's scary. I think he has Double Protect to at least like get out of the fake out stuff. But it'll come down to the Wheezing speed tier. If it is slower in Trick Room than Iron Hands, then Will-O-Wisp is gonna be pretty huge.
That's what I think is gonna be what this comes down to. And there is no Terra potential, so definitely gotta hope for the Will-O-Wisp. I think Iron Hands is still gonna outspeed, but at that point, if you get Will-O-Wisp, Weezing's got leftovers, so like it could be just stalled enough because I believe for a draft here it is Life Orb with Psyshock. You're in a tough spot. You basically, if you can get rid of the Iron Hands though, then you're in a good spot. But I do think that a Hyper Voice plus Heavy Slam is just gonna get rid of it. The Heatran.
And this is Geo being so good at setting up his Iron Hands for a draft from the back.
So wild charge. Yeah, this is where so tough.
And it's stab does a lot of damage at Wheezing.
Yeah. Especially with Life Orb. Yeah. Fridruff is a threat. It is such a good option right now between the defensive bulk, the offensive set, the Trick Room, and support against priority. It is just as I like to say, the most slappable Pokemon because you could slap it onto any team. Yeah. Doesn't matter if you're Trick Room or Tailwind or anything. You could go offense, defense, doesn't matter. It just works on almost any team. And we just saw exactly why here.
Yeah. Well, we got the burnout.
I think Geo played really well, but there was I mean, obviously this game pretty much goes to Geo right now.
Yeah.
In before Sludge Bomb crits it knocks out the you have to double protect to stall out the Trick Room and then Sludge Bomb crit onto the Fur Draft. Yeah. No, that's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, there's no moves I can miss on Geo's side.
I do think though a couple things. Main thing for me that I think could have turned the tide a bit earlier. We did see Landorus go for a hit on Goldengo when it was down to 7 HP. I think if you went for the Ogerpon, would have been a bit of a better play. Could have potentially knocked it out and then just left them with their 2 Trick Room Pokemon, and then Iron Hands being there, it would go to Stomping Tantrum. So yeah, even with a crit, it's game over. I think though, it's not just like what we saw in the last match where you don't have a counter for what Geo is doing. I think Daniel still could really pull this off with the right Pokemon.
Yeah.
I do think that Weezing kinda, I don't know, Weezing's
definitely wasn't able to show what it's good at there.
No.
He switched on a turn where I think potentially he could have faked out and like at least stopped the Trick Room from one more turn, which is then interesting because then he could have maybe gotten a Will-O-Wisp onto the Iron Hands. It's
could have played around it. And that may have been very crucial depending on if the calcs from Wild Charge and Hyper Voice would still be annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
I think also that Terra, that was a bit trigger happy, because I think a Protect would have been safer there, and because 2 Stomping Tantrums would have been fine, and then after that you could have Terra'd.
Yeah.
So I think there was some things that Daniel can improve on in that match that could definitely turn the tide, because if those things went according to plan, would have been a better matchup at the end. But I think honestly here, I think you just kind of lead the same thing that you did, or maybe lead Fluttermane in Landorus this time, so that way you give yourself a bit of a better matchup on that Ogerpon and Golden Goat with Stomping Tantrum Shadow Ball. It becomes a mind game situation there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. We're gonna see Heatran and Landorus for Daniel. Also not bad because you still have that spread moves and Ogerpon and Prodraft. So interesting leads here.
There's a lot of pressure being put out from this Ogerpon though.
Yeah.
That's the trickiness. If the Terras follow me's, I don't know how Lando. Anything. So this is a Geo Classic. If you were facing him with a choice user, he's gonna double protect just to see what you do.
You gotta choose one to lock in or switch out. Honestly,
yeah,
I think it would not be a bad idea to switch out and protect the Heatran. So that way you probably switch into Iron Hands. Terra Fire it. It may not be. I think actually it's going to be not the best play at this point. Oh, we're going to see Terra right away. I'm guessing that's going to be Heatran here.
Yeah, this is...
I think being trigger happy on that Terra is going to be not necessarily the best bet here. I think go this way. I don't know. It's so tough with that Ogerpon Water, but it's just Heatran Terraing right away. Not something that you want to lock into on turn 1.
Yeah, at least a lot of the guessing games out. I'm also not sure. I mean, like if Geo has Golden Go in the back, which Daniel doesn't know yet. Maybe he felt safer doing it because he didn't see the Golden Go lead. That's definitely kind of a big threat here. And now Terra has been revealed. The move from Landorus has been revealed. There's a lot of knowledge that Geo has.
Yeah.
That he can make better decisions with. So we'll see what he does.
Actually really like the idea. Landorus is locked onto U-turns. The good news, probably going to be able to at least chip Ogerpon if it doesn't Terra, or chip Prodraft if the Ogerpon doesn't follow me, / Ogerpon doesn't Terra. It's again mind games, but a U-turn here is really important. I think honestly going for I think U-turn, double up on Prodraft. Go for a U-turn on it. Go for either Heat Wave or Flash Cannon. I think Flash Cannon's best, and then just or whatever this switch in, which I'm guessing to be Gold Dango. Oh, Iron Hands. Both are solid.
Yeah, I'm curious, because like in theory, now if he Cudgel Clear, I think could knock out the Heatran here, which is a little scary, but he... Okay, so let's say he's minimizing his damage from U-turn no matter what. We'll see what the Heatran does.
Again, a little, I wouldn't say necessarily, it's a little trigger happy, but again, not that bad, because the good news though, is you get the special defense boost. You, if you're Daniel, you're okay. Cool. That Ogerpon no longer resists ground. So once I bring my Landers back in, I can just go for Stomping Tantrums.
Right.
Hard part. Most of your other Pokemon are gonna either take heavy cudgels from it or special attackers. So I think that's like still a good Terra, even if it was a little fast. And Iron Hands is the right call here.
Okay. So from Daniel's perspective, he's at least he's activated the Water Terra. He can Wild Charge into it consistently. It's gonna be hard for him to use anything other than Fake Out, whereas Geo can very safely use Fake Out, and that's gonna be an impactful one, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of huge.
Yeah, I mean this is
is Daniel's in good position right now. I think right now Ogerpon with that burn. Heatran has one more turn. I think you double up on the Iron Hands and get rid of it. Yeah,
it's tricky because it has it has Fake Out pressure. I don't know the speed tiers. Maybe I think they played earlier, so they might have knowledge of the speed tiers. And of course, Geo has a threat of switching in. His for to protect against Fake Out. But let's see. Okay, this is faster.
No.
Safe play.
I think Cudgel does connect with the Heatran though, so
it's tricky. I don't know if this will do enough to KO, but it would probably KO if Heatran attacked afterwards because it has Life Orb recoil, right?
Yeah.
So
it would definitely knock out after Heatran, but it's
and it has a high chance of a crit too, right? So it's like
that's important.
This kind of feels like a no-brainer. And what's he gonna switch in? A Lando that's weak to it? Depends on what the fourth Pokemon is.
I think you
but-
kind of just sacrifice Heat Rain here. There's not much it can really. I mean, yeah, it's good against the Golden Go, but so is Landorus. And once Landorus comes in, you're pretty solid shape.
Yeah, that'd be 2 Intimidates and a Burn. Right, so like...
Yeah. It's...
Ooh, no switch, okay.
Yeah, I think if you're Daniel, you just kind of want to sacrifice it. I mean, there's not much...
Fish for another... Okay, I mean... Oh my
That
god.
Earth Power did a ton on first draft.
Heat Ran should enter the lottery. Oh my god, what a Chad. It burns someone, crits, dies, doesn't explain. Oh my god.
Good vibe draft.
This is a impactful turn. Okay.
Yeah, Daniel is much better position than he was earlier.
Yeah, that is... And, you know, I mean, I guess part of it is, I think this is a slightly more offensive giraffe that Gio's running, so I guess sometimes that's how it goes.
I think
bringing in... Well, I guess he has Follow Me, right?
Yeah, I personally think... Okay, yeah, Landorus is safe. I was like, if you have Landorus and Fluttermane, then I think you're pretty safe. To just go for... I mean, there's not much here that this Golden Go has to lock on to Psyshock at this point.
Right? Yeah.
I think right now...
Yeah, Mega Rain just kind of like loses.
Yeah.
Pokemon's not doing much, but it still has a utility of Follow Me, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Shadow Ball's consistent damage.
Yeah, especially if it's Fluttermane.
And he hasn't revealed his fourth, right? So I think maybe that's part of the thinking here.
Yeah, I think if it's Fluttermane, then that's really good for Daniel.
This might just KO.
With the Burn It Well.
Choice specs, this should do a lot.
Oh, a crit!
It did do a lot. There you go.
It's still... Oh, man.
Yeah, a good amount of variance.
This is
here.
This is an interesting one.
So neither of them have revealed their fourth mon. Shadow Ball isn't going to do a ton to Iron Hands.
Actually, I believe Giovanni still has his Iron Hands. Yeah.
Still. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh man.
Ooh.
If this is Fluttermane on Daniel's side, really good shape.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Iron Bundle.
Okay. Not the worst, and it can fake out, protect, or it can protect the fake out. Rather,
it's not horrible. No, it's not horrible. The protect on fake out's really important. I think you kind of... Oh man, yeah, this is a tough one. This Iron Hands, I think what you want to do is just Drain Punch it and keep it consistently low while the Golden Go goes for a Shadow Ball, and then on the next turn you just Hydro Pump it, get rid of it, and hope that it hits while you... Because we know... Okay, the fake out...
Okay, so this is good by Dan. There was no... He knew Gio was going to predict a protect.
That prediction was really important.
Okay, so this is... Yeah, the Hydro Pump hitting
Yep.
is pretty big, because it's a 2-hit KO. And then it's going to become...
It's another it's gonna come into another Hydro Pump hit, or you protect this turn, and play your cards that way, which does minimize the damage.
Yeah.
Especially because we know that at least from Gio's side, the Drain Punch is going after the Iron Bundle. So if you can pick up a free Drain Punch, you basically make sure that no, we're just gonna go for that Hydro Pump onto the Iron Hands. Doesn't do a ton.
Interesting.
Shadow Ball then connects with the. With Daniel's Iron Hand, that may have been really crucial, and that's best Steph drop is not good. Okay, the Wild Charge is enough.
Oh, depending on the EVs and the training on this Iron Bundle, though.
I don't think. Well, it could. I think.
And if he Drain Punches, he gets a lot of health back, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Iron Bundle is like max.
Oh,
yeah,
I think that's it. I think you needed to go for another Hydro Pump on the Golden Go there.
Just to get the health. War going. I mean, yeah. I don't think Iron Hands needs a ton of investment to one-hit KO with the Drain Punch on the Iron Bundle, but yeah.
Yeah. And I think... Okay.
Oh, his is faster.
Daniel's
speed time?
This... If Daniels lives this hit, there is a chance. No, actually, no.
Yeah.
And that's it. Giovanni is going to the final. Yeah, I was thinking there was also the Drain Punch at the end there. You basically need a crit.
Yeah.
Oh, that Hydro Pump just hit the Golden Go.
Yeah, I think Dan's thinking was... I don't know. I'll have to think about that one.
Yeah, I think it was solid, but at the same time, you still would have been if you did Hydro from the Golden Go, you still would have been just in a one-on-one with a hands that has more health than yours.
Right.
And that's not ideal.
Yeah.
So there you go. I think both players are fantastic, by the way. Congratulations on top 4 to both. We're going to see Giovanni back here. And
I think he's facing Brandon, so we're going to have another Side Spam matchup.
Side Spam, but Verdraft is not going to be the only Trick Room user anymore. Yeah. But I think that's another thing I want to talk about, how that just is so much pressure on the field when Verdraft comes out because it just neutralizes Iron Hands completely. Yeah. It's just a really wonderful switches there from Giovanni. And
yeah, I suspect we'll not be seeing any fake outs next game.
No. Psychic Trade, Arbor Tail.
Yeah. Unless it's, I guess, a Landorus on the field. I don't know. I forgot the teams. But
and if it is Brandon, we're going to see possibly, if Brandon wins, we're going to see Side Spam just come back and win again, back-to-back Premier Challenges. If not, Giovanni is going to once again be on the top here, and they are getting ready to get into the next match. So we will take a very, very quick break, and we will see you guys in just a couple minutes for the final.